Good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Christy Ruppe, and you are all here this morning for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested for. As you stand before me this morning, you are considered not guilty of the crime of which you've been charged. That status will stay with you through each stage of these proceedings unless until changed by you when you plea out to your case or the state attorney's office that they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you were arrested on a warrant or a new charge. Either way, you were given a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pretrial release which will be imposed upon you. I will also determine this morning whether you'd like to hire a private attorney, whether you'll be representing yourself, or whether you would like the assistance of the public defender to represent you in your case. You are also entitled to make a phone call to let family, friends, and colleagues know where you are. If you haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, please let me know. I'll make sure that happens this morning. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there's an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be used against you in the prosecution down the road. This is not a hearing to talk about the facts of your case. Please don't talk about the facts of your case. At this time, I'll have everyone raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. There you go. Swear affirm the testimony before the court will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Go ahead and put your hands down. As I call your name, please come forward to the podium. The first case I'm going to call is Melissa Bartlett. Good morning, Ms. Bartlett. What's your date of birth?
1773.
Okay, you were here this morning for domestic battery. I did find probable cause for that. Do you want to represent yourself? You want to hire somebody? You want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State, does she have a prior record?
She is 2016. I show an arrest on a possession of cocaine.
Okay.
I don't show the disposition.
Okay.
That was
All right, hold on, Ms. Bartlett. Step up to the microphone because I can't hear you. I have an address for you on Holly Springs Drive in Hernando Beach. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long have you lived there?
3 years.
All right, you have a job?
Not currently.
Okay. All right, right now your bond is set at no bond because it's a domestic battery, and pursuant to statute, you don't get a bond until you appear at first appearance, which is what we're doing right now. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a bond of $500 on this case, okay? As a condition of bond, I want you to have no contact with Christopher Pietrowitz, okay? And I'm going to hold you in, I'm sorry?
Are you able to do a no violence contact?
Not at this time, not without his permission. He would have to come in here and ask the judge for permission and give me certain facts that I need to hear in order for me to approve that. So right now, it's absolutely no contact. Do not write him. Do not email him. Do not call him. Do not have contact with him in any way. If you see him out somewhere, you need to turn around and go the other way. If he calls you, you need to hang up the phone. Any way that you can imagine having contact with him, I forbid you to do so. If you do have contact with him while this case is pending, you'll be charged with a new crime and you will be held without bond until all your cases are resolved. Do you understand?
Yes. What about the fact that we live together?
Well, you need to find someplace else to go, or you can stay right where you are. You decide. Do you have someplace else to go?
I'll find a place.
I think that's a great idea. I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today. In case he wants to file an injunction against you, they need to know where to find you. So you're going to be there until 4 o'clock, and then you can bond out for the $500 bond, and we're going to see you back to court on September 13th at 9 a.m. If you do bond out, you want to make sure to get in touch with your public defender, okay?
But what about the fact that he has my money? So I can't.
That's not before me today. The only thing you should concern yourself with right now is your ability to get out of jail. I can't do anything about the money that he has from you. What do you want me to do?
No, I'm saying, like, if I have to bond myself out, don't I need money?
That's something that you're going to have to wrap your head around about how you're going to bond out. That's not my concern today. Okay?
But I don't, there's nobody for me to call.
Then you're going to stay where you are until the court date. Okay? Thank you, Ms. Bartlett. Christine Pasek?
Judge, we have a recommendation.
Okay. Hi, Ms. Pasek. What's your date of birth?
10/16/74.
Okay, you are here today for a failure to appear in front of Judge Hitzman. It looks like last December 28th, 2016, for a possessing a revoked driver's license. Okay, do you want to try to take care of your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, state, what's the offer?
10 days.
Okay. The state is willing to give you 10 days Hernando County Jail. You'll get credit for the 2 days that you have in. That leaves you with 8 days. Do you want to go ahead and resolve this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That was a recommendation also of probation.
Oh, was this a violation of probation case?
Yes, it was.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. It looks like you were on probation for this and you violated those terms of probation. Usually I get like an affidavit, but I didn't get one. All right, so the recommendation is 10 days. You want to go ahead and resolve it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that by admitting that you violated your probation, that you are giving up your right to have a hearing with regard to that matter?
Yes, ma'am.
That you're giving up your right to question any witnesses in that case or call any witnesses on your own behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and admit that you violated your probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I accept your admission. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. I adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 days Hernando County Jail. Is it just the 2 days from yesterday and today that we know about? Were you arrested on this case originally?
In Pasco on Saturday?
Okay, so you've been in custody since Saturday?
Yes, ma'am.
No objection to giving her credit.
Okay.
If
So
the
I'll give
jail
you
can
credit
help
for
us-
the...
If the jail can tell us.
Can the jail confirm that she's been in custody since Saturday? That she was sent over from Pasco?
It appears she was arrested on the 19th.
Is that Saturday?
6 days.
Right. Is that 6 days? All right. So we'll give you credit for the 6 days that you have in, okay? You'll have fines
Yes,
in court. You'll have the cost of prosecution in the amount of $50 that you need to take care of, and any monetary conditions will be converted to a lien against you, okay? Now take
Yes,
care of
ma'am.
it
Thank
today.
She said since
Thank you.
Saturday, it's Thursday.
Ashley Shepard?
That's a transport for Judge Toner.
Yeah. Hi, Ms. Shepard. What's your date of birth?
8/19/86.
Okay, Ms. Shepard, you are here today. They transported you over because you have a court date on August 28th at 8:30 in the morning, and they just, in front of Judge Toner, and they just brought you here this morning so that I can inform you of why you're here. Okay, do you have a public defender representing you on that violation of probation case?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, you might want to get in touch with your attorney, okay?
All right, thank you.
Patricia Velez? Hi, Ms. Velez, what's your date of birth?
7/15/44.
Okay, you are here this morning for driving under the influence. I did find probable cause for that. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Okay, I will provision appoint the public defender to represent you. State, does she require a record?
No, ma'am.
All right. All right, Ms. Velez, I have an address for you on Stockholm Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Brooksville. In
It's
Brooksville.
in Stockholm Street's in Brooksville?
Yes.
What's the zip code there?
34613.
All right, got that. All right. How long have you lived there?
5 years.
All right, do you have a job?
Not now, no, I'm retired.
Okay. You never know, I'm just
Sorry.
asking. Okay.
Figure out the numbers. But
1840.
I want to ask you something.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you a bond of $100. And we're going to see you back to court on September 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning, okay? I've appointed the public defender. Make sure to get in touch with your attorney.
Okay, September 13th.
Dawn Zeller. Hi, Ms. Zeller. What's your date of birth?
5/182.
All right. You are here this morning for burglary of a dwelling. I did not find probable cause for that, but that doesn't mean the state's not going to prosecute you for that, okay? So I need to ask you, do you want a public defender representing you? Do you want to represent yourself? Or are you going to hire somebody?
Public defender's fine for right now.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender's office.
Judge, can I be
I'm not-
heard?
I'm not finding probable cause because I did not find in the probable cause affidavit the intent to commit offense therein. So I'm going to give the state 24 hours to find me what I need in order to find probable cause for a burglary. In the meantime, I'm going to keep the bond the same at $5,000. But if they don't give me what I need by tomorrow morning, why are you shaking your head at me?
No, I was just thinking of something, nothing.
Okay. If they don't give me what I need by tomorrow morning, and I still don't have with the intent to commit a crime therein, then I'm going to go ahead and ROR you on this case, okay? But for the meantime, I'm going to keep the bond at $5,000, and we're going to see you tomorrow morning at first appearance again, and let's see if the state can give me what I need to find PC, okay?
All right, I have another question too. With James Grady, I think it was Judge Toner, he gave us, where we can talk, but there's no physical contact or yelling. He put his hands on me yesterday. How come the cops didn't arrest him?
I don't know. I'm not the boss of the cops. You need to talk to someone in the sheriff's office and maybe, fill out whatever paperwork you need in order to file a charge against somebody. That's not my job. I'm not a police officer. I am going to tell you that your next court date, though, is September 19th at 9 o'clock for this case, and you need to make sure to be here on that day, okay?
Okay.
September 19th.
Derek Thompson. Mr. Thompson, what's your date of birth?
8/30/89.
All right. You are here today for 3 counts of lewd and lascivious child molestation. I did find probable cause for all 3 of those. Did you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll provisionally appoint the public defender's office. State, does he have any prior arrests or convictions since 2000?
Yes, Judge. I wanted to, in pulling up the CSIS report, there does appear to be some type of alias. There is trespass back in 2013. There's a criminal mischief in 2012. And there's also, I just want the court to be aware, there was an aggravated battery arrest on a pregnant person and battery in 2006.
What's the alias?
A Quentin Rashad Conway or something. I don't know. Somebody
what
showed me
makes you
that, but
think
I'm not
that-
sure that that's...
What makes you think that's his alias?
I asked Miss Daly to pull the CSIS on this. I don't know if that's what she...
So what does that mean? Like when you bring up his date of birth and social security number, that name comes up?
I don't know if she's saying it's an alias, or I'm wondering if that's just a related thing that he's on that case in some way. No, he's listed as a defendant.
Okay.
I don't know. So
Okay.
there may be some juvenile history, Judge, involving violence, and that's the only thing I wanted to put before the court. There,
Okay.
Your Honor, I was
violence.
never
Hey,
arrested.
no. I'm not asking. You only answer questions, okay? I have an address for you on Todd Trail in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
Currently, since the first of the month, but before that, since 06.
Okay. Where did you live before the first of the month?
At 208 Zoller Street. I was there for 2 years, but I was forced to leave.
Is that in Spring Hill?
Brooksville.
It's in Brooksville. Okay. So you've lived in Hernando County at least for the past 6 years?
No, 2 years.
2 years. Okay. And where did you live before that?
Todd Trail.
But that's Hernando County as well, right?
No, that's Pasco County.
That's Pasco County? Oh, it's Spring Hill, but it's in Pasco? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I gotcha. All right, and I think we have family members here. Did you guys want to say anything? Are you his parents?
Yes.
Okay, did you want to say anything to the court? Are you here to say anything? You don't have to, I'm just asking.
She has.
Okay. Well, that's something, maybe you want to check with the state attorney's office after we're done here and straighten that out, but that's certainly not the only basis of my decisions this morning. So, okay, did you have anything else you want to?
I don't know what we can say or can't say, so.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we've appointed the public defender. I found probable cause. I'm going to give you a bond. Right now it's no bond, and that was a warrant signed by a circuit judge on August 18th. I do believe you're entitled to a bond, I'm going to give you a bond of $50,000 each count. That's a total of $150,000. As a condition of bond, I'm going to order a GPS. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victims in this case, KH and MH. They are minors, so I'm not giving their full names, but you know who they are. I'm going to order that you'll be placed on active GPS. If you do meet the other bond conditions, you're not to leave Hernando County or the state of Florida without approval of the court. You're going to pay all the costs associated with the GPS monitoring device, and it's going to be placed on you prior to your release. You're to have no contact with victims KH and MH. You are not to go within 1,000 feet of their residence. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of wherever they go to school. You're not to go within 500 feet of any vehicles that they might be in, and you are to have no unsupervised contact with children under the age of 18. Do you have your own children?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are your children?
14, I think, 12 and 10. They're my stepkids.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. State, is the allegation that these are his children?
I just have the PC that says warrant. I don't have.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Is the allegation in this case that these children are your children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say no unsupervised contact with children under the age of 18. I'm going to put except for your own children at this time. Now that can be changed by a circuit judge at any time, but that's just for my order today.
Judge, I would ask for at least supervise with the children until we know kind of what's.
I'm going to do it for today. I mean, he's got a $150,000 bond and a GPS. For today's purposes, I'm going to say except for his own children, so that way at least maybe they can call him or something. If that needs to be changed, then it looks like Judge Merritt can be the one to change that.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not going to go within 1,000 feet of where children congregate, including schools, parks, daycare centers, maybe even churches. Anywhere you see a group of children, you are not to be there. You should have no phone contact with the victim, no phone contact with children under the age of 18 years old except for your own. You're to have no computer, wireless, or smartphone or internet usage. You're to have no email, messaging, technology contact with the victims. Okay, you need to get in touch with your public defender. We're going to see you back to court September 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning, okay?
Okay.
James Eldert. Hi, Mr. Eldert. What's your date of birth?
9/24/1980.
Okay, you are here this morning for an assault or battery on a person 65 years or older. I'm not going to find probable cause on that today. But that doesn't mean the state's not going to prosecute it. So in that prosecution, do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Okay, I'll provisionally appoint the public defender's office. I'm not finding probable cause at this time because there's no date of birth on the person 65 years of older in the PC. I'm going to give the state 24 hours to amend that so that I have what I need to find probable cause. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and give you a bond on this case. And I'm going to ask the state if you have a prior record before I determine that bond.
Yes, ma'am. There's a New York history going back to 2000. Each of those, there's DUI type sanctions, 621, 2000. There's also possession of cannabis, 213, 2004. Another DUI, 924, 2012. Another alcohol type offense, July 14th, 2015. Then possession of controlled substance, 9/11, 2014. And something called they're calling a criminal impersonation of another person. I don't know if that's false ID or something like that.
Okay.
Each of those involves alcohol, Judge. I know it's sometimes rare to put that condition, but when we come back, I'm going to ask if there was alcohol influence check here. Could there be a no alcohol condition of his release?
Okay. That sounds fair. All right, Mr. Eldert, I have an address for you on Windswept Ave in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yeah.
How long have you lived there?
14 months.
Okay. Do you have a job?
I do.
Did you say you do?
I do.
Okay, what do you do for work? What kind of work do you do?
Labor.
Okay.
Landscaping.
All right. Okay, I'm going to give you a bond of $4,000 for today's purposes. If the state cannot give me probable cause, then you could be ROR tomorrow morning. If you want to bond out for the $4,000, you can go ahead and do that. I mean, really, all they have to get me is a date of birth on the victim, and then I'll find probable cause on that. We'll see you back to court on September 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning, okay?
Your Honor, did you appoint
All right.
the
And can
I did appoint a
repeat
public
that about-
defender, and what, I'm sorry, Mr. Elder, what?
Can you repeat that again about me? I could possibly be RO'd.
Okay, so right now your bond is going to be $4,000 because I do find probable cause for an assault, or a battery, but I do not find probable cause that the victim is over the age of 65 because they have not provided me a date of birth in the probable cause affidavit. So right now I'm going to set your bond at $4,000. If you want to bond out for that, you can. Okay, as a condition of bond, though, if you bond out on that $4,000, I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim in that case. Okay. That means do not call, do not write, do not email, do not have any contact with James Eldert Jr. Oh, you know what? They do have. I did find a date of birth in here. All right. So I'm going to find probable cause for that, actually. I'm going to keep your bond at $4,000. I'm going to order no contact with the victim, James Eldert Jr. I'm going to order that as a condition bond that you have no alcohol. I don't know how we're going to...
Sometimes it affects if there's a new arrest or an encounter with law enforcement, and that's why sometimes I want to put that condition. He needs to
all right,
be
we'll put the
told.
condition for no alcohol. And no contact. And because it's domestic, I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case Mr. Eldert Jr. wants to file an injunction against you, okay? So you're there until 4 o'clock, and then after that you have a $4,000 bond. We'll see you back to court September 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Brian Coleman.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Coleman. What's your date of birth?
10-182.
Okay. All right, you are here this morning for an assault charge, and they have it no bond, and they said they've charged you with a domestic assault, but I can't find anything in the probable cause affidavit as to why they feel like it's domestic. There's nothing in there about whether there's a relationship between the two of them at all. So I do find probable cause for an assault, but I'm not really sure it's domestic. Nevertheless,
It indicated biological sister, so there would be
is that what
related
it
by
says? Okay.
on that 2-8-23.
All right, cool. All right, Mr. Coleman, I have an
Yes,
address
ma'am.
for you on South Carolina Ave in Tampa. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How long have you lived there?
4 years.
I can't hear you.
4 years.
Okay, do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Military.
Okay. State does he have a prior record?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you a bond of $100. As a condition of bond, I want you to have no contact with Allison Hardy. That means do not call, do not write, do not email, do not have anyone else call, write, or email. If she calls you, you need to hang up the phone. If you see her out somewhere, you need to turn around and go the other way. If you do have contact with her while this case is pending, you will be held without bond and charged with a new crime, and you'll be held in jail until all your cases are resolved. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Gladly.
I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case she wants to file an injunction against you. And after that, you can bond out for the $100. Did you want the public defender to represent you on this case?
I'll represent myself, ma'am.
You're going to represent yourself? Okay.
Yes.
We'll see you back to court on September 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Thank you.
Ms. Martin?
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Martin. What's your date of birth?
5/22/64.
Okay, you are here this morning for DUI and a refusal to submit to the test. The bonds are currently $2,500 and $500. And it looks like it's a DUI, third offense outside of 10 years, which means the bond amount should actually be $5,000 for that, not $2,500. But
Your Honor. Your Honor.
do you want to say anything about the facts of your case?
I'm not going to, Your Honor.
Okay, what did you want to say?
I don't believe I'm saying something about facts of my case. My last DUI was 2002.
Okay. Well,
Okay, thank you.
yep. Okay.
I thought you said within the 10 years. I'm
I
sorry.
know, I said outside, but now you just admitted to
I'm
having
sorry.
another
Yep.
DUI, so good job.
Oh, I did.
Don't say
I
anything
did.
else unless I ask you a direct question, okay? I try to help them. All right, State, does he have, other than the driving record that I have, anything that's not?
Yes,
driving
ma'am.
record?
Just a couple things I want to point out to the court. In 1986 was that DUI with a VOP on it. There was a failure to appear in 2002. There's a DUI in the 2002 that he just admitted to on the record. There's the false insurance claim or false commission of a crime, adjudication of guilt in 2011. In 2017, February of this year, there was a leaving the scene of an accident, and I asked the court to take that into consideration and the bond appropriate towards schedule at $5,000.
What happened with that case?
It looks like that he got a fine or some kind of pay and go, but with the leaving the scene, to me, with this history, there would be a suspicion, so
Okay,
that could have possibly
all right,
had influence.
I gotcha. All right, Mr. Martin, I have an address for you on Stur Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you lived there?
Since 1979, I've been in Hernando County, Ozarks on there.
Okay, all right. Do you have a job?
Yes, Your Honor.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a landlord. I own 24 rentals in Hernando County.
Okay. All right. All right, for count number 1, I'm going to set your bond at $1,500. For count number 2, I'll set your bond at $100. We're going to see you back to court on September 13th. Are you going to hire private counsel? You want to represent yourself, or do you want the public defender's office?
I'm a hiring attorney.
Okay, do you know who you're going to hire?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who are you going to hire?
Chip Mander.
Okay, we'll see you back to court on September 13th. Let Mr. Mander know when your court date is, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Christian Martinez? I brought the wrong pen. All right, Mr.
Good morning,
Martinez, what's your date of birth?
October 27, 1994.
All right, you are here this morning for possession of marijuana with intent to sell. The bond is currently $2,000. Possession of paraphernalia, the bond is currently $1,000. And a no valid driver's license, the bond is currently $1,000. I did find probable cause for each of those. Do you want to hire somebody, represent yourself, or you want the public defender's office?
I'll do the public defender. I think I have one on my VOP that's on there. Is there any way I could take time on both of the other ones that I'm not VOP?
Well, you're charged with a felony, so we're not taking a plea today. I didn't know anything about your violation of probation. Does he have a pending charge?
They're they were talking about an RCO of sorts. Is there something? I think he's got 17 CT 1089 set for 9-5 status, so we would ask for an RCO on that case if he was arrested.
What is that case?
I just have the case number 17 CT 1089.
Driving while suspended. Okay, well, if you want to clear up the misdemeanor today, we can do that. But I don't know if that's going to That might hurt you on your violation of probation that you have in front of Judge Toner, it looks like. So it looks like you have a case coming up is it in front of me? Either in front of me or Judge Hitzman on September 5th for the driving while license suspended or revoked. And then you have a court date in front of Judge Toner for a violation of probation on September 11th. So I'm sure the public defender is going to tell you not to take a plea to anything right now because it could affect the offer in your violation of probation case, or it could affect your score sheet up there. So I wouldn't do that right now. So why don't we just keep everything where they are so you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney? How about that?
Okay, sounds like
Can we RCO on that case?
I'm working on it.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I have an address for you on Marlowe Ave in Spring Hill, Mr. Martinez. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long have you lived there?
I've been living there, I'd say 5 years now.
All right. You have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a cashier at the Family Dollar on Spring Hill Drive.
You're a what?
Cashier at the Family Dollar on Spring Hill Drive.
Oh, Family Dollar. Gotcha. Cashier. Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Martinez, it looks like while these cases were pending, you went out and got these new charges. So we have a pending driving on suspended driver's license, and we have a pending violation of probation in front of Judge Toner. While all of those are pending, you went out and you got yourself a felony possession of marijuana with intent to sell, possession of paraphernalia, and a no valid driver's license. So what I'm going to do is, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, is I'm going to revoke your bond on. He's had a bond on a violation of probation? It's odd. In front of Judge Toner?
No, we're talking about the 17 CT 1089.
Okay, well I also have 17 CF 831.
The 831 isn't that the BOP that's here today?
Oh, okay. Is it?
But the RCO would be on that pending case while.
Oh, okay. I see what they did. They did a PC. Okay, I gotcha. All right, so we're going to revoke any bond or conditional release that you had on 2017 CT 1089. So you're going to be held in custody until you resolve that case, and we're going to keep your court date on September 5th, okay? For this case, you are entitled to a bond. I'm going to keep the possession of marijuana with intent to sell at $2,000. Count 2 is going to stay at $1,000, and count 3 is going to stay at $1,000. You have a court date on that on September 19th at 9 a.m.
Do we want to put that on the toner?
Oh, is that it? Okay. So we're going to set everything for the 11th? We're going to set that for September 11th. Would that be 8:30 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay. At 8:30 in the morning in front of Judge Toner. And then we also have your violation of probation. It looks like you were on probation in that case, 2017 CF 831, and you went out and committed these offenses while you were on probation. So what we're going to do is hold you no bond on that case, and we'll see you back to court on September 11th with your other case in front of Judge Toner at 8:30 in the morning. Okay? So someone from the public defender's office will come out and see you soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Raymond Pullen. Mr. Pullen, what's your date of birth?
October 27th, 1937.
Okay. You are here today for a DUI and a DUI with property damage.
Yes.
And the leaving the scene of a crash involving damage. The bonds on those are $1,000 each. I did find probable cause. Do you want to hire an attorney? Do you want to represent yourself, or do you want the public defender's office?
I'd like to have the public defender.
Okay. I will go ahead and appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State, does he have a prior record?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pullen, I have an address for you on Daisy Drive on Hernando
Yes.
Beach. Is that where you live?
4100 Daisy Drive.
Okay. All right, I got you. How long have you lived there?
Pardon me?
How long have you lived there?
15 or 16 years.
Okay. You retired? Not working these days?
I'm retired.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set the bond at $250 each. It's a total of $750. I'm going to see you back to court on September 13th at 9 a.m., okay? Make sure to reach out to your public defender after you bond out.
Yeah, I will.
Brandon Seguin. Mr. Seguin, what's your date of birth?
February 20th, 1992.
Okay, you were here today for a grand theft auto. The bond is currently $2,000. I did find probable cause for that. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I have an address for you on Fillmore Ave in Port Richey. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
6 months.
Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm self-employed. I do finished carpentry.
Okay.
Carpentry.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep the bond on this case at $2,000. I also see that you have an open case of 2017-1182 CF. It's set for a pretrial on September 22nd at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Merritt. I see that the date of offense on that case was June 2nd, and the date of offense on this case was July 2nd. So it appears to me that while you were out on bond on 2017 CF 1182, you committed this offense in the case that you're here for today. Because of that, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your bond on 2017 CF 1182. We're going to hold you without bond. And I'm going to set both of your cases. That one's already set for September 22nd. So is everyone okay if I set this one for September 22nd
Yes, ma'am.
as well?
Please.
Okay, I'm going to set this one for September 22nd in front of Judge Merritt, so they're both on the same day, okay?
Okay.
Make sure to reach out to your public defender, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Corey Swanson?
Recommendations 30 days, Your Honor.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Mr. Swanson, what's your date of birth?
10/23/89.
All right, you're here today for a failure to appear for a violation of probation. Court date, it looks like you were sentenced to probation on January 5th, 2017. At that time, you expressed the understanding of the conditions of probation, but you stopped to report in March of 2017. You have not responded to any request or written or verbal request to report. You haven't done nothing while you're on probation. You didn't pay your supervision fees. You didn't pay your court fines. And you failed to report in February, March, April, and every date since then. And you failed to do your 30 hours community service or obtain a valid driver's license. So based on that, the probation is offering 30 days for Hernando County Jail to clear up these cases. Is that what you want to go ahead and do?
Yes, ma'am. I turned myself in on the 19th. I had court on the 6th of, I think, July or June. I was in the hospital, currently to my broken ankle. So I couldn't go to court.
I think we were aware of that. He told the court that back in May of 2017, and that was an issue. They couldn't move forward on the case at that time.
Okay. Well, you had court on July 6th. Haven't heard anything
They
from him.
continued to let him get stuff done, and he didn't do it.
Right.
My recommendation, this was probation's recommendation, 30 days. Mine, of course, would be 60. 60 is the max, and that would probably be my recommendation because he didn't do anything and was given a chance and didn't bother to do it.
Does he have any time in on the initial arrest? Does anybody know?
I'm not sure.
Mr. Bauer always knows. Yeah, where's Mr. Bauer? He always knows how much time he had it. When you got these crimes with driving a suspended and no motor vehicle registration, did you get a notice to appear or were you arrested?
I was noticed to appear,
Okay.
and I went to court.
Okay.
I was paying my fines until currently with my ankle, and I couldn't pay my fines.
Do you want to go ahead and resolve your case today by admitting that you violated your probation?
Yes, it's at 30 days, right?
I'll give you the 30 days if that's what you want. Do you want to do that today?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I turned myself in on the 19th.
I know, you keep
and
telling me
that's
that. I gotcha.
I'm sorry.
I hear you. All right, so you understand by admitting that you violated your probation that you're giving up your right to have a hearing with regard to that.
Yes, ma'am.
You're giving up your right to call witnesses on your own behalf and confront witnesses against you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I accept your admission. I adjudicate you guilty. I sent you to 30 days from Hernando County Jail. You're going to have $50 cost of prosecution that you need to pay.
Okay.
And any financial conditions will be converted to a lien against you. I'm going to give you credit for the 7 days. So is that 7th to the 19th? No, 5 days? 6. I'm going to give you credit for the 6 days that you have in the Hernando County Jail. And that should take care of it.
All right, thank you.
All right? Good luck.
You gotta confirm there's coin on that.
Yes, there's also the cost of incarceration. Christopher Thibault. Mr. Thibault, what's your date of birth?
6/24/88.
Okay, you were here this morning for a violation of probation. It's a warrant signed by Judge Toner indicating that he wants no bond on your case. And that was signed June 23rd of this year. So we're going to keep that at no bond. We're going to set your court date for September 11th at 8:30 a.m. so you get back in front of Judge Toner. Do you want the public defender on your case?
Yes. You said it was signed June 23rd?
Yeah.
You mean July 23rd?
That's like June. What's the difference?
But I didn't get arrested for July 23rd.
But that doesn't mean that's when the warrant was signed. It was signed June 23rd. That was when the warrant for your arrest was signed by Judge Toner.
Can I ask what the violation was?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to keep that at no bond. We're going to see you back to court on September 11th at 8:30 in the morning, okay? Did you have the public defender representing you on that?
Yeah. What did you say the violation was?
Do you want, hold on a second, do you want the public defender to keep representing you on this case?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, the violation of probation, failure to remain confined to the approved residence. Violation of probation condition number 16 of the order of community control by failing to remain confined to your approved residence except for 1 hour before and after approved employment, public service work, or other special activities approved by the officer. As grounds for relief, the offender violated his community control. The officer states that the offender was away from his approved residence Northwest 10th Ave in Fort Lauderdale on June 8th at 4 p.m. without prior approval of the officer as evidenced by the field visit conducted by this office. Okay, so we'll see you back to court on September 11th.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ron.
All right, did I get everyone at the jail?